Now we will see the formation of a single covalent bond between different kind of atoms. In the last video we saw the formation of bonds, covalent bonds, single, double and triple covalent bonds with similar kind of atoms like hydrogen combined with other hydrogen atom to form a single covalent bond. Now we will see the formation of single covalent bond when two different kind of atoms are combining. For example, we will see the formation of methane. Methane is a compound of carbon and hydrogen. We know the formula of methane is CH4. Now C is the non-metal, hydrogen also is a non-metal, and we know that covalent bonds are formed between non-metallic atoms. Carbon, which is having 6 as the atomic number, has the electronic configuration of 2 electrons in the first shell and 4 electrons in the valence or the outermost shell. As there are 4 electrons in its valence shell, it requires 4 more electrons to get 8 electrons in its valence shell, and to get the electronic configuration like that of neon, that is 2 and 8 electrons. So it needs 4 more electrons. To get 4 more electrons, the carbon atom will combine with 4 hydrogen atoms. We know that each hydrogen atom has 1 electron in its one and the only shell. So because it has 1 electron, it requires 1 more electron, because we know that the first shell can have maximum 2 electrons. It wants to get the duplet structure. Duplet structure is when 2 electrons are present in the one and the only shell, and duplet structure is of that of helium noble gas. So hydrogen wants to acquire the electronic configuration like that of helium. Because it wants to get the electronic configuration like that of helium, so hydrogen will share its 1 electron with the carbon atom. 1 electron of carbon will be shared with 1 electron of hydrogen with the overlapping of the orbit. So we can see here the 4 hydrogen atoms are overlapping with the outermost orbit of carbon atom, and 1 electron from carbon is shared with each of the 4 hydrogen atoms. Now when we see the electronic configuration of this carbon, it gets 2 in the first shell, 4 which were already there of carbon atom, and the 4 electrons which are shared by each of the hydrogen atom. So when we count the number of electrons in the second shell or the outermost shell of carbon, we can see it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So carbon atom has acquired now the electronic configuration like that of neon. So it becomes now stable. And the hydrogen, each hydrogen if we see, has the 1 electron of itself and 1 electron which is shared by the carbon atom. So it also gets 2 electron in its valence or the only one shell which it has got, and it acquires the electronic configuration like that of helium. Each hydrogen we can see is having 2 electrons in its valence shell. So each hydrogen also is satisfied, and the carbon atom also is satisfied with 8 electron in its valence shell. This way the formation of methane molecule takes place. Now how many single bonds are formed? How many electrons are shared? 1 here, 1 pair here, 1 pair here, 1 pair here and 1 pair here. So for the formation of bond between carbon and hydrogen, only 1 pair of electrons is shared, so a single covalent bond is formed. But how many times 1 pair of electrons is shared with carbon and hydrogen? 4 times it is shared with 4 different hydrogen atoms. So 4 single covalent bonds are formed for the formation of methane molecule. And because the electron pair is shared between the carbon and the participating hydrogen atoms equally, so this is a non-polar molecule. The equal time will be there in which the carbon as well as the hydrogen both will have the electrons which are shared. So a non-polar molecule is formed. Now we can see the electron dot structure of methane molecule. As I told you, when ionic bond, I explained you that the electron dot structure will have only the outermost electrons will be shown. So carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost shell. So 4 electrons are shown by 4 dots, and each hydrogen has 1 electron in its only one shell. The electron of hydrogen is shown by a cross. We can show the electron by circles which are hollow, or the dots, or we can also show them by with the help of cross. So we are showing hydrogen's electrons with the cross. Each hydrogen has 1 electron which is shown by 1 cross here, and 4 electrons which are present in the outermost shell of the carbon atom. So 1 dot of carbon, that is 1 electron of carbon, is shared by 1 cross, that is 1 electron of hydrogen. With the result, a single covalent bond is formed. Here also one single covalent bond. With this hydrogen also one single covalent bond. With the third hydrogen also a single covalent bond, and with the fourth hydrogen also a single covalent bond is formed. This results in the formation of methane molecule, which is having 4 single covalent bonds, and we can also represent this as C and 1 dash, that means single covalent bond. So we can represent methane molecule by showing 4 dashes which are joining the carbon with 4 hydrogen atoms. So this way methane molecule, which is a non-polar molecule, is formed.